is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Hello and welcome to Marketing Edge on TV, Nigerians' leading initiative in the business of brand management and the management of brand business. It is a 30 minutes wholesome package that comprises brand news, branding focus, and industry conversation, all in a mix encompassing thorough and in-depth aimed at promoting the brand idea. I'm Ogali Abikele Mafuru.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
First on Marketing Edge on TV, it's brand news, where we bring you the latest developments around brands and in the field of advertising, marketing, and communication in Nigeria and around the world. Now on brand news. The 2022 Lagos International Trade Fair, which was accompanied with a beehive of trade and promotional activities, ended over the weekend with increased awareness, patronage, and improved consumer engagement for brands. Multinational brands and international organizations leveraged the opportunity at the fair to boost sales, reach new targets, network, meet new trade partners, and increase the market share. Some of the brands that were prominently on ground at the trade fair include Brand Oak, Peak Milk, Mobile 11 PLC, Sono Group, UBA, Lush Air, Dangote, amongst several others. According to the President, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Asiwaju Dr. Michael Olawale Cole, for the past 33 years, the LCCI has organized the Lagos International Trade Fair, which has grown to become the largest trade exhibition event in West Africa in terms of traffic and volume of transactions recorded. As part of efforts to encourage the growth of small and medium enterprises, the Advertisers Association of Nigeria, ADVAN, has partnered with the SME Mall to host SME Business Growth Summit to give insights on business growth and sustainability. The SME Business Growth Summit, billed to hold on November 16, 2022 in Lagos, as part of activities lined up towards the ADVAN African Awards for Marketing Excellence. The summit, which has the theme Marketing as a Tool for Sustainable Economic Development, will have as facilitators Osamede Ubanwe, President ADVAN, Yosola Atere, Marketing Director, MasterCard West Africa. Against the backdrop of the recent report by the World Federation of Advertisers, which suggested an imminent cut of about 74% in advertising industry budget, with world's biggest advertisers trimming down their 2023 budget due to recession and other economic challenges, advertising spend in Nigeria is expected to fall as inflationary pressures cut deep into consumer expenditure. According to a recent report by the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, Nigeria's inflation rate surged to 20.52% in August, up from 19.64% recorded in July, the highest since September 2005. The Consumer Price Index report by the NBS showed that Nigeria's CPI rose by 1.77% on a month-on-month basis compared to the 1.82% increase recorded in the previous month. As a result of the economic impact of purchasing power, brands are likely to cut down advertising budgets as sales and turnover is expected to fall. Against the backdrop of the rising concerns over the underrepresentation of Black creatives in the global advertising industry, Monique Nelson, chair of Uniworld Group, the oldest and one of the largest multicultural advertising agencies in the world, has urged African agencies, especially the Black community in diaspora, to work assiduously to signpost local creatives on the global stage. Speaking to Marketing Edge in an exclusive interview, the UWG chair stated that Africans in diaspora have an overwhelming amount of knowledge and skills to provide the required solutions that guarantees the success of brands in the marketplace, adding that local agencies must collaborate to drive the vision of inclusivity.
We come with a broad experience and lots of years of understanding how to partner and ultimately how to articulate what we're doing to brands on a global level. So what we're hoping to do is bring some of that upskilling and some of that skill that we have as a long-standing minority-owned and Black-run agency to the continent to kind of show, hey, here's 53 years of experience. Here's some of the things that we've done really well. Here are some things that we could have done better. We'd love for you not to make those mistakes. How can we support you, give you the backing as well as the security that you'll have support in a situation where you may or may not have had it without us. We really do want to be able to buoy these agencies, not just, again, to survive, but ultimately to thrive and grow through this process. Our idea is to grow more Black-owned agencies as we have grown over the last 53 years.
But that was brand news. Next is branding forecast after this break.
Esther, you're late again. Esther? She's a wandering light in the darkness. She's beautiful. Oh, she's a superstar.
Morning, Esther.
She never let her mama down. She's beautiful. She know the fear. She know they ever got a heart for her.
No phones at the table, please. Esther? I love you too.
Got everything? Don't forget I'll pick you at 4.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome to the Glow Festival of Joy. It's a celebration like no other, with prizes like no other. 20 new houses to be won, 24 brand new cars, 200 sewing machines, 100 generators, 1,000 rechargeable fans. It's raining giddy got prices this season in the Glow Festival of Joy promo. Dial *611# to enter and grab your share of prizes in this celebration of a lifetime. It can only be Glow. Glow Festival of Joy promo. Dial *611# now.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Now on branding focus. The next stage of the data revolution depends on trust and data dignity being built into the marketing and brand ecosystem. To put their customers at the center of their data strategy and reconcile data dignity with data utility, brands must be transparent in their communication while asking people for consent to process their data. Simply stating that your website uses cookies to collect information doesn't help consumers make an informed decision on how their data is being used or what is being collected for. People should be fully aware of how brands intend to use their data. Telling them that a website uses cookies is neither helpful nor sufficiently transparent. Brands that provide their customers accessible and clear information will build differentiation and competitive advantage and ultimately reap the rewards with increased loyalty and growth. What's more, brands must also give consumers control over how their data is used. According to a recent McKinsey survey on consumer data, people are becoming increasingly intentional about what type of data they share and with whom. In a highly data-driven economy, with consumers shopping, managing their finances, and paying their bills online. They understand that data is a core ingredient in the value exchange between them and brands. The proliferation of data breaches and the steadily growing list of privacy regulations are all increasing consumer awareness of their data insight. And people are seeking out tools that give them control over how their data is used. However, control needs to be beyond the requirements of the privacy regulations. Consumers want tools that give them a finer degree of granularity over marketing preferences with a specific brand. They want the ability to express their preferences once and be assured those choices will be reflected across all touch points, devices, and channels. When people take the time to express or update their privacy preferences, it is the duty of brands to ensure it is reflected with every interaction they have with the brands, even when vendors are used to processing that data. Agencies are supposed to be partners to clients, but today the reverse is the case. In the past, clients used to send agencies partners on training and travel on their first class flight, but today clients see agencies as favor seekers. With our branding focus, next is industry conversation where we have interactions with dynamic and distinguished personalities who have made great impact in the business of brand management. Well, this week we have a very distinguished personality who is the Group Managing Director of SO&U, past Chairman of APCON, and past President of AAAN, UDEME UFOT. After this break.
Welcome to the Glow Festival of Joy. It's a celebration like no other, with prizes like no other. 20 new houses to be won, 24 brand new cars, 200 sewing machines, 100 generators, 1,000 rechargeable fans. It's raining Giddy Got prices this season in the Glow Festival of Joy promo. Dial *611# to enter and grab your share of prizes in this celebration of a lifetime. It can only be Glow. Glow Festival of Joy promo. Dial *611# now.
Above the line, through the line, below the line. The world is changing and so is advertising.
Join us at the National Advertising Conference 2022, themed The Marketing Communication Industry Nigeria, Trends, Challenges and Prospects.
It's the biggest advertising gathering for the biggest advertising issues of the day.
Special guest of honor, Senator Danladi Sankara, Chairman, Senate Committee on Information and National Orientation. Honorable Olusegun Debumi, Chairman, House Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Value. Chief Host, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, Honorable Minister of Information and Culture. Host, Dr. Lali Kofadolapo, DG, ACON. Date, November 29th to December 1st, 2022. Venue, Transcorp Hilton, Abuja. Time, 10 a.m. No better time to chart the way forward for the practitioners, the industry, and the economy.
Be there. Let's engage and share perspectives. Register at www.nationaladvertisingconference.com.
National Advertising Conference 2022 is powered by Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ACON.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Hello and welcome to Industry Conversation, a segment on Marketing Edge on TV, where we have interactions with distinguished personalities who have made great impact in the business of brand management. Well, today we have with us a very distinguished personality who was the past president of AAAN and former chairman of APCON, currently the group managing director of SO&U, UDEME UFOT. So pleased to have you with us on Industry Conversation. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
The pleasure is mine. UDEME UFOT is one of the leading icons of the Nigerian advertising industry. He belongs to a generation of pioneers and pathfinders responsible for some of the great moments in the Nigerian advertising history. and whose exploits have provided the lever for what the industry has become. So good to have you on Industry Conversations, sir. Such a great pleasure. I would like you to tell us what is your assessment of the advertising industry in Nigeria in recent times?
The advertising industry in Nigeria has gone through tremendous challenges in recent times. Things were already quite tough before the COVID lockdown set in. And so you can imagine that the advertising industry as a sector went into the COVID phase with, impairments, what you call, with a COVID patient, someone that had, already had issues. So getting into the COVID era with the lockdowns, the slowdown of things, it hurt the advertising industry very strongly. We work in teams a lot. We had to learn new ways of working remotely, and not everybody could adjust. But certainly those 2 years of lockdown and semi-lockdown dealt a heavy blow on the advertising industry in terms of their clients who were going through challenges. Many clients had to shut down, budgets were cut. Media campaigns were suspended. So all manner of things happened. But even with the consumers, people were hard pressed. If the consumer is not, is not purchasing, what are you advertising for? Mm-hmm. So we were hit from all sides. And of course, the agencies having, poor funding because there's no revenue any longer. So they began to struggle. And it's actually now that agencies are beginning to reemerge, to push ahead. But there's also a fallout of the new ways of working, which is that some clients and some people have been used to remote working. And this has spawned a set of small-time stand-alone operators who can offer services that undercut agency operations. They have lower overheads. And with the access to internet and information, they can actually do much more. I used to hear in those days, jokingly, talk about the one-man agency. The one-man agency has come alive. Mm. And a lot of people in their guest rooms, sitting there and doing work for clients who are very comfortable with cutting through the clutter of agency layers to deal directly with a one-man creative hot shop. And they're satisfied. These are taking revenue from the agencies and making life even harder for them since the COVID lockdown hurt us badly. Okay, well said. Considering the fact that you are an advertising legend who has canvassed the entire advertising ecosystem for decades, what would you say is the growth trajectory like for the advertising industry? The industry has grown tremendously over the years. If you look at the way the industry itself has, fragmentation is not just negative, it's also positive. The industry has grown into a truly integrated marketing communications industry, where you have a strong media component, you have a strong traditional agency component, and the digital agencies have also come up. And you can see the revenues grow. I don't have the figures offered right now, but you can see the revenues grow. And of course, you can also see those translating in the media revenues, whether it's digital and also on even with the traditional media. And you also see it in terms of the electronic media, and what you have to do sometimes, just open your TV and you see the commercials that are running. Go online, you see the level of activities there. But I think yet still, when the telcos, who have been very strong, and the banks, you can see a lot of activity going on, and that gives you a feel, even at a glance, how the industry is sustaining. So they're doing well, but of course, it has to be more widespread because not everybody is benefiting from this growth. Okay. You made mention of the impact of the COVID-19, the challenges, but then we'll get to that point. But I'd like you to tell us significantly, what are the major shifts you can identify in the advertising industry? I think for me, the most significant shift has been to teach us that a lot of things we went abroad to do can be done locally, okay, and very well. Not just done very well, they can be done very cost efficiently. During the COVID era, we did produce some commercials for some clients, Commercials that would have been produced probably in South Africa or in the UK, we were forced to do them here. And I was quite impressed that those commercials were flighted on CNN.
Oh.
And no one felt, oh, that looks like a local commercial. It fitted, it was world class. Everything done locally. So COVID taught us that, as we say in Lagos, what you're pursuing in Sokoto is in Sokoto. So, I mean, that's, and I think they're very welcome development. And I can also tell you that those commercials were produced at a narrow fraction of what it would have cost to do them abroad. And very importantly, maybe going to some of the new ECON rules now. You know, the more we do these things locally, the better our industry will be. The more our own resources will grow, learn, improve, and continue to be better. And the more money that will now come into the local industry, the more they can use that money to improve themselves. So COVID taught us some good lessons. Some bad things happen, but I think at the end of the day, you put them in the balance, the good and the bad, and then you see, hey, what works out.
Okay. So how are practitioners, advertising professionals responding to some of the challenges that you enumerated that are currently in the advertising industry?
I think it calls for agencies to show more accountability. The client is paying for a service. And the more you can demonstrate to clients that you're offering value, and that value is measurable, the more you can sustain your business. You know, quite often, agencies are more thrilled with the accolades, with the awards that follow the work they have done. And they are sometimes less concerned about the impact of the work on their clients' businesses. Going forward, it's become even more imperative. These clients are struggling. That the marketing budget needs to be well deployed. Marketing directors are held to account for these budgets that are given to them to grow their brands. And agencies must therefore also be accountable, because if agencies refuse to be accountable, marketing director can be accountable, and people will lose their jobs. You know? And so for us going forward, at every step of the way, we are asking ourselves, what value are we offering to the clients? What value are we creating? Is it measurable? Because it's one thing to say we are creating value, but what exactly is the value that you are creating? You know, is that what the client wants? And very importantly also, to continuously be on the edge of delivery, you have to constantly improve your knowledge base, improve your skills base, and even in terms of infrastructure of your agency, also improve. Today's world offers information from so many quarters. You need to know where that information is to get it and use it to upgrade your performance as an agency.
Okay. We know that there's a lot that has been occasioned as a result of the COVID-19, and we're beginning to deal with the aftermath of the pandemic. Would you say that the advertising industry in Nigeria is at par with what is obtainable globally?
I think I have been privileged to engage in the profession both locally in the UK, in East Africa, in South Africa. And I can tell you that our agencies, the top performing ones, are not doing badly. They're doing pretty well. Okay. You know, the challenge for agencies in Nigeria, to my mind, has to be more, like for every other business in Nigeria, infrastructure. The support base is weak. Agency people are spending their time pursuing things they do not need to pursue. And this is a distraction. When they should focus 100% on their work, you know, they're challenged by government policies, inadequate infrastructure, you know, demotivated staff who are living in very difficult environments. For a man to be great, a woman to do great things, he must come fired up, ready to go. But between home and work, things are happening. And they come into the office, you really have to wind them up, to get them into the mood of delivery. So there are challenges in this environment. But you can therefore imagine if Nigerian agencies, just like other Nigerian businesses, are thriving and doing so well despite these challenges. Now just imagine if things work better. If the operating environment were more business friendly, what we would achieve. So I can tell you, yes, I've experienced agencies in SA. We've engaged, and they commend us for our capacity and our skill in delivering work.
Okay. Another thing that I would also attribute as a challenge in the industry is access to data, accurate data that works. And we know that accurate data of consumer insight is vital for the realization of marketing objectives. What would be your assessment of the availability of data as it is at the moment in the advertising industry?
It may not be at par with what you'd find in more developed societies, but to do the basic work you need to do, various data are available, whether for media planning, whether for consumer engagement. The data is there. It's just to be very clear what you need and what you need it for. You will know, you'll be able to get it. You know, it may be a bit expensive. It may not be as quality as it would be, but it's a starting point. The challenge itself is that the more sophisticated our industry grows, not just advertising industry alone, the entire marketing industry, because demand will drive supply, you know, and the more demand that there is, the more entrance to supplying that data, and the more elevated the offering will be. So, I mean, we are getting there, but it's one step at a time. It could be better, but not as bad as some people might think it is.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Well, that's much we can take on Marketing Edge on TV this week. Do well to join us for the second part of our conversation with UDEME UFOT. I'm Ogalia Bikele. See you again.
It's always a great morning on the TVC Breakfast Show.
Thanks for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
With the array of stories that matter and what's behind them.
As you say, the first blow indicates the direction of government.
Tell us what really is going on between your union and the federal government.
Once it's generated, you
don't use it, it's waste. We are not even sure whether we have a strategy for security.
Are you saying that there was nothing wrong in that?
Was he the one driving the taxi?
Answer the question.
Reveal your morning with all you need to know.
Like
Yes, just mundane lyrics.
Yes.
How does that fit into your scheme of events or duties right now?
No chief of staff, no general has the right to call a governor to order. The governor has been elected by his people.
Start your day right, because this is the breakfast show that adds to your breakfast. TVC Breakfast, weekdays at 7 a.m., only on TVC News.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Adron has been very great and fantastic in what they do. We started with 2 plots, and then was able to develop it into this beautiful, wonderful building.
I'm really encouraged. Adron did very good job. Even when we came last December, the little we saw, we love it already.
That gives us the conclusion that Adron is doing a good job.
From the massive gatehouse, which is a replica of the Mapo Hall here in Ibadan, to the impeccable drainages and reinforced concrete roads, the shopping mall, the eatery, the children playground, and the mini stadium. When you think quality and world-class infrastructure, think Adron Homes.
Adron Hub for everyone.
At TVC News, Wherever the big news stories happening, we're geared